The voodoo that you do. That was pretty weird how I said that, and then I had a voodoo moment. But yeah, when they're big devils and they do a lot of murders and stuff in the deep state, Satan protects them with that kind of stuff. So they also protect, narcotics distributors. Could be the same person. All right, let's heal this. All right, the QuickTime Shawnee Mission in Goddard needs to be healed because it's this curb here. Okay, so we don't want vehicles from the highway coming over here to the gas station, like jumping the curb and going, ah! And then we don't want people leaving the gas station drunk or high or whatever they are, having a bad moment and then jumping the curb onto the road. So that's there. Well, it's a curse of some sorts with demons, and when a person comes by and their power is below a certain level, when they're cursed, then that happens. Now, wasn't there something off of Goddard? Can't remember. Hoodoo, voodoo. I don't think it's this way, but we'll go this way first. All right, create jobs. Actually, we have jobs, so we don't. So the queues are off. Yeah, there was something I was looking to rent off of Goddard. All right, so this part, there was something like, I don't know, it keeps getting out of my head. There's something to heal. I can't remember what it is. Oh, the stealing thing at Walmart. Now, I hope it wasn't the security guy willing me to steal something. But at Walmart, there's a thing there, and I hear it. Other people, they just receive, again, if they're down lower, they'll just receive the vibration to steal. But it was discussing that I was a great customer and I should just take some of these items. Honestly, that's what was happening at Walmart. So you have to heal that. That's the only reason you have crime is your communities aren't healed and your people aren't healed. Can't keep up with all the money that's cursing them, including narcotics distributors. Narcotics distributors own the people. You have an ownership system. Possession. You see how that works? Narcotics distributors own the people that use narcotics. So you have to heal them and break them free. Wow, this is weird. It's like ghosts around here. It's very scary here. Places probably need to be healed. Goddard and Shawnee Mission, the whole shebang, half mile each way at least. All right, so this can't be off of this Goddard. It's got to be a different Goddard. I thought there was like an apartment complex or something. Unless I have to go further that way. I remember seeing the word Goddard when I was looking. That's what's weird around here. Like a road will end and then it'll start again. Somewhere else, like another side of the highway or something. Nice and quiet here, but it's scary for some reason. What's going on around here? I need a massage so bad. I haven't had one in years. My body didn't work. Massage wouldn't do anything. They killed everything. If I stayed in massage, I'd have been fine. And they knew it. That's why they attacked and pretended there was some threat. I'll go to hell for it. But see, it's the same thing everybody else was doing. So it shocked me. I was like, it's PTSD. And they knew that. They triggered the PTSD from what they had done for the previous 20 years or whatever it was. It's not from combat. Not at all. They like to say it is. Oh, he's a wimp. He can't go to combat. I went to combat, ate it up, came back. Nothing. I mean, it was scary, I guess, for like a minute. Because ours was only a minute. Actually, it was scary before you could actually go in. Like now's your opportunity to kill the thing that scared you. Then it was like okay, like yeah, let's get him. Oh wait, they're surrendering. All right. So why am I driving up this road? Okay, heal it. Actually, I'm going a half a mile this way, I guess. I don't even actually have to speak to heal things because God gave me breaths and sounds and all sorts of things. Actually, people with Tourette's, I don't have Tourette's, but people with Tourette's, they're actually healers that are broken. I actually have to go back this way, or I'm going to end up going the wrong direction. They're broken healers. All paranormal people are actually if they're broken, they're paranoid. But again, the others are breaking them. The other witches and things. The dating it in the middle of my life, I had bought a house, and I'd been in a house for COVID like years prior, and it all worked. I mean, all my floors would already been like wood and stuff. And what is this here? What is this? What's this? Do not block intersection. Oh, the train tracks. Share the love, Casey. Wait, where am I? I got. Oh, I'm supposed to be up there, aren't I? Okay, here's the entrance thing. I never went this way before. So again, don't cut your nose off to spite your face. That's what got us where we are. Maybe you made a lot of money by cutting your nose off to spite your face, and then there's the big cut your nose off to spite your face when you end up going to hell. Hell exists, and the Bible actually makes mega sense, but they don't explain it right. Because people look at it and go, well, who can know the ways of God? I agree with that. You can't know all the ways of God, but the Bible was written so you could understand it. Most people fit into categories of people that are considered victims. But because all the evil people took over again and they took over Christianity, they don't want you to know the truth. In other words, they're not even supposed to have money. Now, I agree in this day and age you need some money, but again, I don't know if they're out there, but I know that if somebody was a real Christian, they wouldn't be racing to be the richest person on earth. They could be wealthy, but they would have given away so much. And again, fake charity doesn't work. You can't cause the need for charity with your heart. You can't project spells, even if you're not spelling people. Gossip, God told me gossip is worse than murder because it causes murder. When people gossip about somebody, they either become a murderer or get murdered. If you gossip, they gossip enough about oh, my mother. I mean, you have to actually have a certain type of heart. Not to say that you want that person dead, but like you'll see people like that person is going to be a criminal. That person is going to die because they're so they're out there, or whatever it is. Somebody's going to kill that person. And again, they don't always say that, but that's some of what they say. So again, it goes to the heart. So most people, they're just possessed. They're owned. You're owned on the planet. Remember, people go, "I own you," and again, the person that said "I own you" is probably the one that doesn't own you. But it's all out there. They do it in their mind, or they do it with what they say about you. So everything is healable. But again, if you have too many devils, you can't heal it. I spent a long time healing things. I healed a lot of things, online, offline. So again, even if like Vladimir Putin's laughing because he upped the market because I said something, then or somebody in CIA did that, whatever it is. I still do that. And again, that's the funny part. Oh, I sent that message to you. No, God did, and He sent it through you. God tricked you into sending me that message. And of course, you may have upped the market because I said so, but you still did it. If I didn't say anything, you wouldn't have done it. But God's very, very, very slick, I would say. Well, not slick. Slick's a bad word in my history. You might as well just say foo. Slick is the name of a devil. But God's very, very, very ingenious. Has a lot of ingenuity. Now God's scary, really, but this place is scary. I guess. I guess this place is scary because I'm with God. If I wasn't with God, I probably wouldn't be scared. Like if I was a fake Christian, I'd be like have a big church and we'd all be singing and. Like it's like almost the first words out of God's mouth is, "Don't listen to any of them. Listen to me, and we'll bring some people home. They don't know anything." But of course, it was in a God voice. That's one of the first things God told me, and God had taken me through my life, and I saw certain movies, and I did certain things, so that when I woke up, God could say like half sentences, and I'd figure out the rest of it. I'd be like, it's just like I'm ready for spiritual warfare essentially, and it's just and when he would teach me, I would already have a concept, but it wouldn't. Sometimes it wouldn't even have anything to do with what the concept God was teaching me, but it's a pattern from something that I saw in my life, so it makes sense. It's in movies. A lot of God's stuff is in movies. You got to be able to read it. You need God to read it. The Matrix was a big one. I don't even think I saw The Matrix before I woke up, but I might have. I don't think I did. That's why I was like, oh, there it is. Kind of. It's still like figurative. If you know how, like, and this is the weird part. Like, here's one of them. My mother had a college course when I was a little kid, and it was, and God got my mother to tell me about her course. Like, she'd always be talking to me about her course, and she got me to sit down and listen to her. Like my mother never like very rarely spoke to me. She spoke to me about these courses. It's just I had a weird childhood, pretty much, and she wasn't evil, evil. I don't know how much of what she became later in life that she had inside when I was younger. Like I think she was jealous of me. I think that hi, Mr. Popo or Mrs. Popo. But she had this course that was short stories, and those short stories were analyzed. It was an analytical course, and that analytical course looked at certain stories that are prevalent to what's happening to me, number one, and happening to the world, actually. But number two, there was a process of analyzing short stories. So, like, I'm this little kid that learned how to analyze short stories, but I never used it until I woke up. So, like, God's like telling me stuff and showing me how it's in movies. So, all that short story analytical skill that my mother had imparted upon me, I could use when I was looking at the movies. And I'm like, wow, it's in the movie. It's over here. It's so. I mean, it was more than just movies. I mean, it's on like Simon and Garfunkel. The words of the prophets are on the subway walls, tenement halls, but they're in like on candy bar wrappers. If you know how to read it, God's like, protein bar. God said, read the protein bar. Like, what do you mean read the protein? Read the ingredients. Now use the code I showed you. Oh my God. It's like if I get something, like if I read the ingredients on a protein bar, there's a message from God on it. And it may just be a fun message, but it's there. So God created English for all this kind of stuff too. So again, the Bible was written in another language. So you think about that, because a lot of people in other countries look at the Bible and go, I get something else from this. Some of it is just the wording on the way it lays out. That's why some people are like KJV only. But God wanted that because He wanted me to know. Now look at KJV, because like if I didn't get into like KJV only, and I woke up, I'm like, well, NIV seems pretty normal. But what God wanted me to see was that change in language over mere centuries, so that we would realize that, hey, those people that for whatever purpose, again, God's purpose is probably met with the KJV. However, those people that translated the KJV, there's no way that they knew what the Hebrew and Aramaic and the Greek, what it all actually said. There's no way, because we need a dictionary to figure out King James English. I used to have one of those little fundamental Baptist dictionaries for King James English. So God showed me, He said, look, I said King James only, and probably that's the best one to use for what we need to do. I mean, you can study the other ones, like the Berean. That's a good middle ground, between KJV and some of the newer versions. But God said, people, they want to hear it in KJV, especially a lot of Catholics, they use the KJV. So I'm getting lost here. I know where I'm at, but I'm trying to figure out if I'm going the right direction to get back home. This looks pretty healed. It's much more healed here where I know where I'm at. But it's much more healed where I am right now than it was where I was. Shawnee Mission Parkway needs to be healed. So what you do is when your police officers are patrolling, they're supposed to be healing. Now, you look at me like, what? Well, okay, number one, you don't want to get shot. So if you heal it, you'll be less likely to get shot. That's one. However, ancient law enforcement was religion. It's split off. So you're really bound by a lot of the requirements. You don't have to be religious, but there's an ethic in there, and it's really important that law enforcement follows the ethic in the scriptures, or we have what we have now. We have trank people. So that's really what's supposed to happen. And you can tell them, he said, look, whatever spirituality you are, whatever it is you do, because that's how people are like, they want me to heal. Like, do whatever it is you do. That stuff. Some people haven't been around people like that in years. But that's what they used to do. Like, can you do that thing? I've been isolated. It's not me. I can't. I mean, it doesn't pay for me. I don't like pulling people into that kind of thing. Oh my God, this car wash is still open? My car wash is open. What do you know? This is a great car wash. Doesn't have hours or something? It's a 24-hour car wash? It's like $32 a month. I'm not going to wash it now, though, but I guess I could. This is like the best place in the world to wash your car. Now, the car wash is a little bit limited, but when you can wash it every day, it doesn't matter. You just drive in, washing the deep state drugs off my door handle. These are like things people don't tell you about, like people in car wash clubs, because I just heard it. I had actually, like for me, I have to join the car wash club, and then they start talking to me. Yeah, we use the car wash clubs. We wash our cars like almost every day. Who knows what they're putting on our cars? People, if you say that, you lose your job. Oh, are you crazy? This place is so nice, but it's all carpet. I can't believe it. A Highland Ridge or something like that. There's such nice buildings and apartments, but it's all like, hey, we got shag. Come on and see our shag. Oh my God, what is it, the 60s? All right. So I wanted to move. Even this Grant 79, they got freaking carpet. Oh no, this one over here I think was hard floors, but it's not as nice as the other one. It's kind of scary, actually. All right. So oh no, my thing is like my button's down. I gotta my volume button. How'd that happen? I don't know if it does anything to actually affect the volume. It's a slider. Supposed to like put the max volume, but I don't think it does it. I don't think it works. I gotta go back home here and relax. So again, you're supposed to be healing places. If officers heal places, and teachers heal places, so it's really weird. Like the FBI psychologists will like analyze it a different way, but so I'm riding my bicycle, and that's when they started isolating me. So I'm riding my bicycle on the York County, not New York County. What is that trail called? I used to Shrewsbury to like Baltimore County to York County. There's a trail there, and I used to ride my bicycle. And this guy comes by me, and see what they're trying to do is they're trying to confuse me. So the voices, like they weren't voices necessarily. I mean, they just started. It was just kind of like, and I don't hear like a lot of voices or anything. It's just a month of it's thought. And but God wanted me to know it was real, so God spoke to me for a while, pretty regularly, and taught me a lot. So, but I'm asleep still. I'm still in the marshal service and all that. And the weekends I take like 3-day weekends and ride my bike every day, that kind of thing, bicycle. And I'm on the rail trail, and this guy. I mean, it's like so weird. It was like magical waking up, but they destroyed everything. And this guy rides by, and what's it say on his shirt? I don't know if it said the Rain Man. It said the Rain or something. And he has this little tinkly bell, and it goes cling cling, and like and this is before I knew about the psychic inference. And his shirt just jumps out at me like the Rain or the Rain Man or something. And I go clink clink, like one of those kids like bells, and it's like an older guy. And he's got a rain shirt on. And I used to drive when I ride on the trail. I'd see this black guy, and he'd take his hands, and I forgot about this guy. I just remembered him because they drugged me. I forgot everything. So I'm like remembering, my brain's rewiring now. I swear I was drugged. And he used to take his hands up and stick them up. I didn't even remember this guy. And this black guy, and he'd see me, and he'd take his hands because you'd pass the same people every so often. And he'd take his hands and he'd put them straight up like I do. I didn't even remember that. Like by the time I was doing that, I had no memory of this guy. It came from a different place. But now I remember that guy. He was just like me. He used to think, because when I used to ride my bike, I try to put my hand up and heal things and show people that I'm healing them, and he was healing me. So that's one of the guys, the black guy. I don't know who he is. He could have been a cop because some of the cops would follow me. Like the cops would do couple things. They were trying to cuck me into a couple thing. Again, that might be CIA. They might not be cops, right? Or private sector CIA, but they're trying to cuck me, get me into like couple sex or something like that. I swear to God. So some of the others were cops. I don't think he was. And then like this one cop, and I knew he's like an FBI agent or something. I think. I mean, I didn't know him, but he tried to pick me up. I was just getting ready to ride my bicycle on the trail, and then he was walking out, and he did like this self pleasure thing in front of me, like just kind of with his hand, and I'm like, what? And I'm like, that's a cop or something. Like a gesture. It's not like he did it. One of them young bucks, they're like freaks. They do anything for $1 million. So yeah, so that guy. So that was so weird with and then the Rain Man, and God said, you know what? You'd be the Rain Man if I wasn't here. That's what they're doing to your head. Like just because I can, like right now, my brain's coming back, but just because it's coming back doesn't mean it can come back without God. Like other people, they did. I mean, they killed themselves. Like Jonathan Luna killed himself what in a few years after they started doing it. So God said, "You'd be the Rain Man going, what time, Judge Judy? What time, Judge Judy?" And the weird part is, like, I have this link to Richard Dreyfuss and who's that guy? The guy that I can see him right now is just connected to me. What's that guy? Hafner. What's his name? Hoffman. I'm like, I'm supposed to meet these people so I can teach them all of it. So again, see, God positioned people, and then I was supposed to explain all this to them. So again, they destroyed that. Supposed to know the Pope. Supposed to know the exorcist for the Vatican. Well, because they're pretty correct on what they do, but they're missing a few parts. I was just like so amazed that like the Pope won't say it all. He knows it, I think now. I don't always agree with the Pope. Again, people are people. They do whatever. But yeah, I think he knows a lot more than he used to. But the Vatican, Gabriel Eimarth, he's like a really devout, strict Catholic, but he said that 80% of possession is from spells. Like before that, remember the Inquisition mindset: you're a sinner, therefore you're possessed. That's false. Nobody possesses themselves or does anything to get possessed. However, some people are responsible for their own possession because they're possessing others. God can't forgive you because you're possessed if you possess others. And don't, because Satan will get in your head. Go, remember you said this to that woman and she had sex with you. It's not necessarily that. It requires the heart and all that. Like some people will play sex. They'll say things. You know, you know, ownership of one another, that kind of thing. So again, it takes a lot. And again, if you don't have money on this planet, then you're really kind of on your own. Does God's protection work? Only to the level that it works. Remember, Jesus told you this is not the Father's kingdom. So when you tell me you're rich because this is the Father's kingdom, I'm kind of looking at you strange. I still can't figure out what's her name. Uh, the angle of the Christian nationalist people. What was her name? Not Marge. The other one, Lauren Boebert. I mean, I don't know what she's doing. I mean, it could be for money. I don't know. But again, the people I went to church with, if they got the opening to be something like that, that's probably how they would preach. Most people in church really don't know anything. It didn't bother me. Nothing. I mean, I didn't really know a lot back then. I just, I loved God and God loved me because it's like the funny part when I finally figured out that people. Oh wait, I'm in the wrong spot here. Where am I? Oh, I'm gonna go around. Okay. But when like I woke up, people kind of tell me that Jesus was God, and God knew this was going to happen. So God met me when I was young, and I didn't have like this relationship I have now with God, but I knew God. Like my father died. FBI psychologist. What is that? I transfer into sanctuary. But God showed up. God showed up and was there in my life. And again, I wasn't always connected to God. It was blocked and all that. So, and I never heard God. But when they told me God was Jesus, I'm like, no. Jesus is the Son. God's different. And you wish Jesus was God. Believe me. For some of you, you wish Jesus was God. That's one of the things that Jesus and I, when we could connect, a lot of times they curse us not to connect. But when we do connect, and again, we're not going to use up a lot of power to connect. It takes more power. We're judicious with the power. Once you're on your own moving, then God will kind of do it a different way. That's one of the things we speak about. How they don't know they don't know the Father. So they get confused. Actually, a lot of people in the church might be kind of innocent about it because Jesus is not the Father. The hearing on this planet's very difficult. I've been duped before. I just tell you, take it with a grain of salt. When I say take psychic things with a grain of salt, I mean everything spiritual also. But no, Jesus is not the Father. That's not by a long shot. No, it's just like all the okay. So Jesus says that we're going to do away with some of the tradition. And the reason that was done is because people were cursing people and they were causing them not to be able to wear a head covering, not be able to get the Sabbath and all that type of things. Shabbat, they couldn't even get near it. And if they curse you enough, you end up in a prostitute building during you're supposed to be in the synagogue. So again, God realized that was starting to happen. So Jesus said, the law, and Paul said the law is not as important. And anyway, God brought the law to show people they couldn't meet the law. Unless you're like very wealthy and powerful, but yet they weren't meeting the law. What they did is they shifted what the law meant. And then said, well, now I'm meeting the law. And in fact, you're not meeting the law, quote unquote. But nobody can meet the law. It's built that way. So yeah, the father is quite the character. That was him actually speaking through me. Called himself the character. Quite the character. I don't know. God likes me. I just, it's one of the things. But but that's what it's like. Like people have loyalty to Trump. People have loyalty to their father. That's kind of like God and I. But I have like a whole history before I even got to this planet, so I don't know. Might have something to do with that. But God has different personalities. I mean, God explained all that to me, the different names. And it's funny, Jesus, Jews for Jesus. No, I'm not a Jew for Jesus. I'm with God. Wherever he takes me, wherever she takes me, if it's a she at that moment. Remember, what is it? Shekinah is a female, so. Well, but see, people like, call me a thug hugger. I'm not a thug hugger, but God's a thug hugger. That's what people that cops don't understand. And so Chris is saying God's a thug hugger, right? A lot of thugs will tell you that too if you talk to them. So again, I don't know if the planet's going to end today or tomorrow, but it's still being taken out by God. God doesn't appreciate the way I'm being treated. And again, when I say me, there's other people being treated the same way. A lot of them are dead. A lot of them are in hospitals. A lot of them are in prisons. So again, they're being psychologically forced to crime. And that's disgusting if you really think about it. But these are your best investigators. They know what they're doing. Until you catch them in a lie and they go, I was confused. I don't know what I'm doing there. All right, that's the way they go back forth this way and that way until they go off to hell. And I'm serious. Hell was not built for the people that you think it was built for. Like these people that murder, they're just totally possessed. Totally possessed. It's very interesting because again, when I woke up, I'd been on a couple cases where I got to know some of the in custody witnesses because they needed protection, and I would help the U.S. attorney with those. And they were being honest. You could tell. I mean, they were just totally freaked out. And it was like, one of the guys killed, it was a Jamie Bennett's case, I think, and Bob Hardy. One of the guys killed somebody he went to kindergarten with. And that was the part that freaked him out. Like when he woke up. The question is, were they being operated? I don't know. But so again, re-socialized kind of because he went to a place I can't tell you where it is because they might still use it. But he went there, and they're good people, and they took care of him. They treated him like a human, and he re-socialized. And he became, a different person again. And then he just, needed medication because he had killed his kindergarten friend in like a street gang type thing. So again, when I'm speaking about work, so when I woke up, God explained things. Yeah, it's possession. He's possessed. The question is whether somebody specifically possessed him. Like years ago, it used to be the criminal bosses and the pusher man and all that did it. Now we got cops and intelligence officers and bankers and CEOs doing that to people. Social medias. I think Google's dirty. I think they import narcotics. I think so. I think Silicon Valley brought a lot of these narcotics here and hit a lot of those people. Because remember, you got your phone on. If Google's tracking you and your cops and police officers and border patrol, they can tell them when to bring the drugs in. So again, we think it's China, but it may not be China. I think that's why they're lashing out at TikTok, thinking it's the thing. It could actually be our own CIA or NSA or even just Mexican cartels. So again, I don't think TikTok, you know what? TikTok influences me less than YouTube. YouTube tries to sexualize me all the time. And there's a couple other things it does. I won't speak about that right now. So again, I don't know what TikTok sounds good, and I do believe that's happening, but I don't think it's happening from TikTok where it's not, and it's not happening from YouTube or Twitter or somewhere else. I think these people are exactly who that woman said. Remember the woman that was the influencer, and she said, she had to have sex with some Facebook dude to get back on because they blocked her, and that's probably why he blocked her to begin with. I think that's the level of maturity we're dealing with in social media and Silicon Valley and the government agents that are with them. There was a female influencer, and she said she had to have sex with a Facebook guy. I mean, just think about how hard it is just to get to that point of finding that Facebook guy for that to happen for her. So again, they set that whole thing up. And with that type of level of setup, they're ruining people's lives and forcing them to crime.